We're getting healthy in this new year,
and we're tackling nutrition and picky eating.
Welcome to Health Series video number 2. Hi, if you're new to our channel, I'm DeeDee and this is Ximena, and we are Chips and Salsa, 2 homeschool moms that love to share life together and give helpful tips.
So why don't you go ahead and hit that subscribe button and the bell button so you don't miss any of our upcoming videos. We upload every Tuesday.
All right, today is the second video of our health series and we are talking about nutrition. You were just saying about teaching life skills.
Yes, life kills.
Life kills.
Life kills. Life skills are life. They can be super academic and know how to do fractions and everything, but if they don't know how to eat.
I make it a point to tell my kids that food is supplying them with nutrients. There are 6 nutrients that the body needs, and your kids need to know what those are. Number 1 nutrient your body needs is water. Number 2 is vitamins, and number 3 is minerals. So everything that we eat, we need to be thinking about, does this have nutrients? Does it have vitamins and minerals in it? And most of our food is just lacking.
Yeah.
That's why we need to take supplements.
We eat so much processed food in our culture that we have forgotten that food is for nourishment and not just for pleasure, you know? And so we eat so many things that aren't food.
Yeah, that's good. The other 3 nutrients are where we get our calories, which is the energy that you need to live. Number 1, fat. 2 is protein. And 3 is carbohydrate. Those can be a little tricky to figure out what's what. Ximena made an awesome little chart to help the kids kind of figure out what those nutrients are.
So first I made a nutrition tracker, and by the way, these are going to be in our links below and you can download them. A nutrition tracker that tells them how much of each they should eat or drink. So we have your water here, and this is customized to my children, so it's half their body weight, and each of these represent 12 ounces because we have 12-ounce bottles. And then we have your carbs here. So we have vegetables, we have fruit, and then we have 1 starch. And I'll explain what that is in a little bit. And then we have protein and fats here. So this is per day. And then we have 3 treats that they can have per week so that they keep track of what they have. You know, it's kind of not very realistic to think that they're never going to eat any treats. So it's better that they keep track of it and say, well, if I had a milkshake at In-N-Out, then I'm not gonna go have a cupcake.
So let's talk about protein. What do you call it?
Powerful protein.
Powerful. So a lean meat, eggs.
Yes.
Eggs are very healthy and nutritious. You know, obviously any of your meats, your chicken, beef, lamb, fish, but also nuts and beans are a great source of protein.
And then we have friendly fats.
So fats are nothing to be afraid of. Avocados are on there. Again, nuts. We use a lot of almond butter in our house, coconut, grass-fed butter or organic butter. The kids know fat-free doesn't necessarily mean healthy. Fat is good and it's important to the cells in your body.
Especially your brain. For carbohydrates, I have colorful carbs because I want the kids to see fruits and vegetables as carbs because that's what they are.
That's what they are.
So carbs are not only breads and sugar, but these are the things that we want them to have ideally.
Right, so carbs aren't bad either. So we kind of we shift in our culture, right? Fats are bad and nobody eats fat, then carbs are bad. But all food is for nutrition. Colorful is important. The more colors, the more variations you have of vitamins and minerals in your fruits and vegetables.
In fact, when my kids were younger, we used to follow this great resource called Eat a Rainbow. And we had a rainbow chart that we checked off every day. It would really encourage us to eat different colored fruits and vegetables, and it was really cool. We got to try like purple cauliflower, and so I really recommend that resource. We're going to put a card right there for you to see, so check that out.
And then the super starches, like Ximena said, carbs, most of us think of bread, but carbohydrates are also potatoes and rice corn. You want to feed your family what she calls super starches. The more complex the carbohydrate is, the more nutrition it's going to have, the more vitamins and minerals.
Yeah.
That breaks down as sugar in your body. But that's not going to metabolize the same as if you ate cotton candy. Spikes your insulin like this, and you just get a sugar rush. You're not getting any nutrients.
So I know a lot of you are probably thinking, yeah, but my child doesn't eat fruit or vegetables.
If you have toddlers, now is the time to tackle that. And really it starts from the beginning.
It really does. And so we have some really quick and practical tips for picky eaters. And I've seen this work in my own life, and I know DeeDee has too. It's so important that you stick to your guns. And so here they are. Tip number 1, make mealtime important. Because in our culture, we have created mealtime as something that just happens during the day and not something to be valued. And when we don't put value in food, which food is very social, it's very emotional. It was created for nutrition, but it's also created for community. I think it's really important that it's treated as that, and that we don't rush off to our activities with, just fast food. And there are exceptions. There are times where we do that. We had our smoothies in the car this morning. But make it a point to have meal times together, savor and chew slowly, and really enjoy eating.
And it's true that everybody's schedules vary. But you can make family mealtime for breakfast. You can make family mealtime at lunch, like whatever works and fits into your family. It doesn't always have to be dinner, right? To make it special and to make it important.
It's so important that our kids see us eating healthy foods and trying different things.
Oh, absolutely. What we model to our kids teaches them way more than what our words are saying. Number 2, you want to expose your kids to lots of different foods, lots of variation, and lots of different types and cultures of food. You guys do something like that every week, right?
Wandering Wednesday, we call it. We've been very good at doing that since they were little. I kind of woke up when my children were toddlers and I realized that they didn't want to eat Indian food or anything, and I said, you know what, enough of this. No, we are going to teach you how to eat from different ethnic foods and different spices, because we want to enjoy our time.
Yeah.
And so we started doing that, and they actually started really loving it when we learned about the culture first. And kind of talked about, well, this is what they eat in India and this is what they eat in Thailand. And it made it fun for them.
Right.
And now we eat everything. And what's really important to remember is that they have been exposed to these foods already since the womb, since trying what you've been eating, and since breastfeeding if you breastfed. So they're already exposed to these foods. You just have to continue. Tip number 3, you can give them a choice, but make sure it's a choice within the same vein. So when they start waking up around, like being toddlers where they think they have independence and they want to make a choice, it's okay. It's part of their development, but you're not going to say, oh, okay, well, you don't want broccoli? Then you can have this mac and cheese. No.
Right, no. If you don't want broccoli, maybe you want string beans.
Exactly.
Or cauliflower.
Right. Or like you were saying, give them a raw version or a cooked version.
Yeah, I saw that on a cooking show. I thought that was a really good idea, because she said a lot of times kids will like the raw more than the cooked, or vice versa, and they're still getting exposed. Tip number 4, there's no such thing as kid-friendly foods. A lot of these kid menus are terrible choices.
They actually are. They're horrible.
I would not feed my kids a bowl of mac and cheese as a whole meal.
It's not a whole meal.
It's not a whole meal. Because if I'm thinking about my 6 nutrients that my kids need, mac and cheese is not giving them very much vitamins and minerals. It's not giving them hardly any protein because it's processed cheese, right? The cheese would have protein normally. And pasta is just a simple carb.
There are no picky eaters in third world countries. So you see kids out there that are eating anything that is put before them. Why? Because there's no such thing as kid-friendly food. Food is food, and kids will eat what you give them if you put your foot down. Tip number 5, don't give up. Moms, teaching your kids how to eat is just as important as any other value that you're teaching them in life. If you're teaching them that it doesn't matter what they eat, they're going to make poor choices the rest of their lives. So just like you would put your foot down, there are non-negotiables, right? Like when you say, well, I'm not going to allow my kid to lie, or I'm not going to allow my child to disrespect their elders. Well, I'm not going to allow my child to poison him or herself with non-food. It's really what it is.
Well, you always hear these crazy stories about kids who, what was that girl that didn't eat anything but chicken nuggets or something like that?
Right.
I mean, you're gonna get malnourished.
Kids are starving nutritionally. You know, they may be hefty or not look like they're starving, but they're malnourished, and that's the truth. It takes about 70 exposures to a food before a child will maybe accept it. And so especially when they're little, what I would do is I would always put it on their plate, even if it was a little amount, because I wanted them to know that it existed and that I expected them to try it.
Yeah.
And they might not like it now, but they might like it later.
What you don't like one day doesn't mean you won't like it forever.
Yeah. And the thing is, your kids will fight you, especially when they're little.
Yeah.
And so I had to put my foot down with, like, for instance, my daughter. I started seeing a pattern where she wasn't eating her dinner, and then she would ask me for like 4 glasses of milk before she went to sleep. And I was like, okay, we're not doing this anymore. So I said, no, there is no snacking after dinner. They're not going to starve. Okay, well, we hope that you enjoyed these tips. We hope that you put them into practice and you try them. Let us know what you think. What are some of the challenges that you have with your picky eaters?
Yes, we'd love to keep the conversation going. Don't forget to subscribe and share this video. We'll see you next time. Bye.